do, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be notified. Man, the CBC got the unmitigated gall to voice their displeasure or their opinion on the black folks that they're supposed to serve, but yet have done very little to nothing for us. I'll be damned. Let's read this, man. This is from The Hill, and it says, Black Americans are under attack, says members of the CBC. Man, I'm going to entertain this. We're going to entertain this story, okay? Let's have some fun, shall we? It says, Black Americans are under attack, members of the Congressional Black Caucus said Thursday, arguing that a slew of efforts from Republicans across the country are in assault on their rights. Black people, quote, Black people are under attack in America, but we are not victims and we are not powerless, CBC Chairman and Representative Stephen Horsford, Democrat of Nevada, said at a Thursday press event from the Capitol. Our fundamental rights are under assault and our very history is being denied, but we will not stand by quietly as it happens. We will never give up when so many people are counting on us to fight for them. Yes, we're counting on you to fight for us. Well, we used to count on you. Now we know that you're pretty much useless, so we can care less what you do. They say in the last month, a GOP-led state legislator in Alabama defied a Supreme Court order to create a second majority black district, as did the legislator in Louisiana. In Florida, new education guidelines have been approved by the state Board of Education that requires students to be told of the benefits people earn because of skills learned as slaves. Let's talk about that. Everyone is upset about what Florida is saying about this whole slavery and how we learned, we got some benefits from slavery or whatever, personal benefits, as they say. Being able to, fix our own houses because slavery taught us how to fix houses like we wasn't doing that before. Because hell, when they found us, we were just laying around in the jungles, just laying there doing nothing, picking our butts and playing with monkeys. Playing with monkey piss. Let them tell it. And then they brought us over here and taught us how to do things. Man, please. Y'all got us because of the ability that we had. And y'all knew what we could do. That's the reason why we were enslaved. Let's cut the bullcorn. But you know how to solve this problem? Instead of sitting here fussing and crying and boo-hooing about what Ron DeSantis and the state of Florida is trying to do to our kids. They're trying to destroy our children's education, trying to teach them, trying to lie to them. Well, first of all, you got to think about what you just said. Our children, not theirs. We should care less what they teach their kids, just like they don't care what we teach our kids. Well, some of them don't. So what we should do is care about what our children are being taught and to take the initiative to teach our children what needs to be taught, the truth, the facts about history, about our history, about the world history in general. Don't sit there and rely on these people. Remember, Malcolm X told us pretty much that we were fools to allow our enemies to educate our children, but yet we get up and we beg and plead that they teach our kids the right thing and don't, that God, we're humans too. Please just be nice to us and teach our children what they need, what they need to learn, like your children, and don't discriminate against us. Just begging and pleading for people to change their minds and the way they think about us. Like they're really gonna sit there and say, y'all got a point. You got a good point. I guess we should change our ways and make things equal. I'm sorry, folk, but it ain't gonna happen, okay? Let's just be honest. It's just not gonna happen. So how do we fix that situation, again, we teach our own kids what they need to learn. We go on Google. We Google subject matters. Oh my gosh, it's just so much out there. That's what I do. That's why I got all these books I got in my office and in my bedroom and in the second bedroom, and also have some books on my phone that I usually don't read because I don't like reading like that on a digital device. I'd rather have a tangible book in my hand so that just in case my phone goes dead or the internet is hijacked and hacked or turned off, I have a way to still learn. Anytime something new comes up, even if I may not get to that book for another 2-3 years, I'm gonna buy the book and I'm going to eventually read it. But that's what you do. You educate yourself. You educate your own children. I mean, if you want to send them to school, that's fine. Let them learn, help you teach them the basic, the math, the math and the sciences and engineering and if they can learn a skill or a trade at school, by all means, go on, send them if you can't teach them. But hell, you should try to learn yourself. But a lot of places, so you got to have a trade. You got to have you got to have them numbers behind them letters and numbers behind your name. Well, I know to come to work on my house, you got to have them. You got to have some kind of certification or some kind of license. I've tried that hookup stuff and it don't work. I'm sorry. I got burnt too many times. So I'm like, look, now I don't care if you're white, black, my brother from another mother. If you ain't got no credentials behind you, I'm sorry, brother. I can't help you. Like I say, somebody, you can blame the person ahead of you that came before you. But anyway, yeah, that's what you can do. So what? They say slaves benefited. Like I said, you need to take that nearly full approach. And like my other videos, it's like, okay, we benefited from slavery. How did we benefit from slavery? And how did y'all benefit from slavery? Y'all benefited financially, generational wealth. Let you tell it. We just learned how to do plumbing and, wash dishes and breastfeed white babies. But y'all got a whole lot more benefit than we did. So it's like, come on now, make it make sense. You hear me? But like I said, that's how you can fix that little problem. Representative Maxwell Frost, Democrat, Florida, the youngest elected member of the House, blasted his home state for their guidelines. Well, like I said, you can come up with other plans. We have a far-right governor and legislator that literally wants to erase us, he said. The goal is to condition this generation to white supremacy because they see this generation is pushing against the far right-wing fascist ideology. Sorry to say, young brother, but we're pushing against the right and the left. Those of us, like in my age, 30s, 40s, I'm in my 40s, but around about our age, because we're teaching the ones coming up under us, and the people that's a little bit above us are kind of seeing what's going on, especially, voting for the Democratic Party all the time, but getting nothing from the Democratic Party. Yeah, we're kind of going away from both sides and trying to see which one of y'all is going to benefit us the most when it comes to politics and voting. So you might want to correct that statement. Keep quoting, we want our freedoms. We want our people to be safe. And so seeing that as an existential threat to the Republican Party, they aim to change the way a generation thinks by changing what we teach them. But little do they know, not only will it not work, it'll piss us off and move young people to go and organize. Exactly. They'll do like Malcolm X and they'll tell you that the conservatives and the liberals are not your friends, and you'll have your lips stuck out too because you're not getting our votes. It said beyond the steps taken by various state governments, black members of the Congress have also been outraged in recent weeks by statements from GOP colleagues at the Capitol. Here must be a liberal publication. Representative Eli Crane, Republican, Arizona, referred to black people as colored people on the House floor during a recent debate just days after Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican in Alabama, defended his statement that white nationalists are not racist. Look at her. this is one thing that irritates me about Democrats. They love to try to pull them damn heartstrings. They love that emotional stuff, right? Now, we already talked about this. No, I don't know if I put that video out. Dang, I wish I would have. I sure should have. Because what they're talking about when Eli Crane referred to black people as colored people, when you go back and see what he said, you know, regardless, it seemed like it was a slip of the tongue, which it may have been, may not have been. He was in the heat of the moment. You know, a lot of times when you're in the heat of the moment, you're going to say what you really think. And then you're going to come back and apologize later. But what's said is said. But regardless, we used to be want to call colored back in the day. Then we wanted to be called Afro-American. Then we wanted to be called African-American. And we wanted to be called Negro. And so now, you know, we foundation of black Americans, or, you know, we American descendants of slavery. One or other. That's what we are. And that's what we're going to be. At least until we get that check. But hold on, we'll talk about that later. But that lady got so upset. I forgot her name. Sister up there, one of the elders, got so upset that this guy said the word colored people that she wanted the record stricken from the books. It took away from what the discussion was, which I think it had something to do with the military and allowing, like, I don't know, maybe gay, allowing people in who go in the military that go in there for benefits to try to have like these operations so they can become, you know, the opposite sex and stuff like that. That was like one part of it, whatever. But anyway, when he said colored people, man, it's just like, she just like hopped on him like a mad Wolverine. And like I said, it went away from the issue, but because she wanted to be like, see, that Republican there, he's racist. He called us colored people. That's why we can't vote. You know, basically saying that's why we can't vote. You shouldn't vote for Republicans. Well, again, like I said before, you know, Joe Biden has said publicly, and you can go on YouTube and find it. You know, he didn't want his kids to be integrated with, you know, like in a school jungle, pretty much, you know, calling us monkeys and animals, saying he didn't want his school, pretty much saying he didn't want his kids to be with our kids. You know, they say his mentor, the guy that he did the eulogy at his funeral, was like a top member, if not a grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Joe Biden, your president. But yet again, Donald Trump was so racist because his dad wouldn't let black folks live in apartments, which was something done by everyone of all on both sides of the political line. So come on now. I mean, not saying one is better than the other, but what I'm saying is your reasoning made no sense. But people just wanted a reason to vote Democrat. So they said, oh, he's racist because his dad was from, I don't know, he's from Germany, changed his name, granddad changed his name because he was a racist, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man. Y'all don't know that. But I do know, like I said, you can go on public internet and find Joe Biden, you know, just talking reckless about black folk. But yeah, man, like I said, that senator or whatever she is, she got real upset about him saying colored people, which was like, come on, man, and that's why I get mad about the Democrats again, because they try to get all this emotion stuff when they have no tangibles behind the emotions. Let me continue. Horsford said he doesn't expect much from Republican leaders at this point, but Representative Troy Carter, Democrat from Louisiana, said it is time for the party's leaders to take a stand. When you hear something as egregious and so patently wrong, you would expect Republicans, Democrats, and others to stand up and denounce such lunacy, but their silence is deafening. Yeah, because silence means you agree. Shout out to Brother Philip Scott, because he says that all the time. As members of the Congressional Black Caucus, we would not condone the erasing of history, African Americans and slavery today, Holocaust, and our friends in the Jewish community tomorrow. When will it stop? Okay, Black Caucus, can we stick to black issues for right now? I ain't saying being racist. Now don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not racist. I don't hate people. I get along and have colleagues of all races, nationalities from around the country, around the globe. Get along with them, laugh with them, joke with them, you know, go through the same problems at work with them. it is what it is. But what I'm saying is that it's high time that we start focusing on ourselves first, us being the number one issue, the concern. Fix our concern. Because you got to start with home first, right? So you start at home, then you start with your community, and then you can branch out and save the world. But if you don't fix home, you can't save the world. You can help save the world, but you ain't gonna fix your own community because it's still gonna be broken. But yet everybody else is gonna be whole. Said, I call out for all people to stand up against this, Carter said, not just black people, but everyone. Everyone's not going to do it. So save your breath, Carter, because what we expect from Kevin McCarthy and other leaders, particularly those who would attempt to ascend to the highest office of the land, stand up, stand against bigotry, stand against racism, stand against hate, stand against xenophobia, stand up for what's right, not for what's politically expedient. CBC has issued a list of demands, which include asking the Department of Justice and the Department of Education to investigate educational policies. Forget them policies. Like I said, teach your own kids. Start your own school system. Hell, Congressional Black Caucus, raise money and say, hey, we're going to start private schools in the hood, period. We need that money in the hood. We either get it or we not, we need to get it. No, we just demand it. Either we demand it or we're going to start allocating our resources and our money and make sure we allocate it to our own people, to where we can go and get it. It's ways you can do it. Remember the Montgomery bus boycott? Y'all need to look that up. Google it for y'all youngers who ain't never heard of that. Our people, they wouldn't let us sit. We had to sit in the back of the bus. A lot of times we couldn't even sit on the bus. A lot of times our people would pay up front with the driver and then get off the bus and walk to the back door, hoping that the driver wouldn't drive off with your money. And they were just being discriminated against, laughed at. So they said, we're not riding the bus no more until they make it, right. And they didn't for like damn near a year and a half. And people were getting beat up. It's like, first they did it and the white folks thought it was a joke. Then after a while, the white folks started saying they losing money. So then they started getting upset and a lot of them started getting violent towards our people, but still persevered. Then in the end, they said, okay, we're losing too much money because the public transportation system is being ridden mostly by black people. So let's go ahead and pass this law so they can sit wherever they want to, where you like it not, because it's messing up our money. Period. That's how you fix any situation in this country. It's about money. I don't care what the heck they say, what the heck they talk about. It's all about bread, either giving them money or taking money. Either way, it's all about money. So let's continue. Members of the CBC met with Education Secretary Miguel Cardona on Wednesday to discuss Black history policies. The caucus also issued formal letters to Cardona and Attorney General Merrick Garland and has met with the White House on the need for a very aggressive legal strategy. Notice how they had an ad in the middle of this article. That's funny because I cut this article, sideways, so cut the edges off so you couldn't see the advertisement. But it's funny they still put it like right in the middle of this page. But anyway, it says, "Let me be clear, Black people did not benefit from slavery," said Horsford. "We built this country. Our literal blood, sweat, and tears were squeezed out of our souls to build roads and bridges, constructed beautiful mansions and government buildings, including this very Capitol and the White House. When you lift up Black people or America, you lift up everybody. We will not allow this ban on Black to endure." Cut me my check. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't there. I must. Well, anyway, I thought that was. Well, it should have been there. He should have said, cut us that reparation check. We built all this. Y'all still discriminating against us. Yes, a lot of us have, living nicely, living kind of comfortably, But as I get older and I see how the system going, because I see myself like this here. I sit here and work every day, damn near every day a week. Make good money, pay my taxes, law-abiding citizen, don't break laws. Might speed it from time to time. But no, I'm going to Florida traffic. Let's just be honest. Other than that, I ain't gonna be in trouble. I ain't getting in trouble. Keep to myself, a peaceful citizen of this country. But when I continue to read and study and look at how this world is actually going, I see how hard it is going to be for me to leave my children and grandchildren generational wealth. I mean, I'm working on it. Don't get me wrong. I believe if I can keep doing it, keep going, it'll be possible. Got to pull that whole Moses thing that, I can lead my kids to the promised land, lead my people to the promised land. I may not reap the benefits, but my children and those beyond my children will reap the benefits. And that's what I'm at least trying to set a foundation, because I started late in life. I mean, I ain't old, I still hopefully got another 50, 60 years left, hopefully. But, wish I could have been able to start earlier trying to build this, but it's hard. It's hard when you're making money and then, you got bills to pay. Then you got stuff that when you try to do things the right way and somehow, the rug gets pulled from under you. And you learn about you made a couple of extra dollars and then, you're in another tax bracket. So now instead of getting paid from the tax, because you did everything right. So instead of getting paid from the government, now you owe, and you owe a lot. And it's like, well, dang, what happened? I thought I did everything well. So then that's when, you learn about businesses and write-offs and things of this nature. And you just study that kind of stuff to help yourself. And then, you tell everyone else. Then you learn about investing and accounts and Roth IRAs and mutual funds and things of this nature. Paying off debt as soon as possible. And you learn this stuff and you say, dang, if I would have known this stuff back in my teens and 20s and been able to actually participate in it, man, I'd be set right now. But then you realize that the system is not really made for the majority of us. It's made for them folk who already got generational wealth, who already had, family owned slaves, had land, insurance policies that really actually paid out, houses handed down to them while we kicking our kids out at 18. They're telling their kids they can stay in the house at 18, go to school. Hell, they get boyfriends, girlfriends, get engaged, get married, still at home. And they can stay in mom and daddy's house and save some money so they can get their own place. And shoot, if mom and daddy pass away, at any time, they got that house and they can use that house and they can sell it or rent it out, continue to make money, build well, make their life easier. Stuff like that. We're not taught. We have grandmama house and mama house and in the hood. And for some reason, the value goes down. And when the value goes down, then they try to sell us a house that they claim is deemed as worthless. And the youngest don't really understand about that generational wealth. Like, hey, you got a whole house and you ain't paying on it. It's paid off. Shoot, fix that sun going up. You can buy your nice cars, buy you a bunch of nice stuff, keep the hood intact, fix it up. The way you can get a decent job. You don't have to make a whole lot of money because the house paid off. All you can do is pay taxes on it and just use your money to build wealth. But it's, slowly but surely. Things of that nature. But like I say, once you see how the system is set up and then you go back and you look at history and you say, man, these folks owe my people a lot. They have this hellified head start. We ain't gonna never catch up. So they owe my people a lot. They told us after the Civil War, we're gonna get 40 acres and a mule. Some of us did, especially in the South. Like I said, I know like at least 4 or 5 people, including folks in my family, that got land. When they say that we don't have a lot of land, we don't need all the land in the world. We just need a little bit. Just need a little bit to get started. And we can build something from it because that's what we do. But even with that, all in all, Yeah, they owe us a lot, man, and that's why we holler about these reparation checks, because these cash payments, not no education, not no land, you know, because we can get that money, we could buy our own land, we get that money, we could build our own schools, you know. That's what we talking about. Do like you do everybody else, like you done the Jewish people, the Japanese, the China, the Asian people. Who else? The money you give it to Ukraine for their little war that don't really understand what's going on with that. The billions and the trillions of dollars you giving other folk, you done gave other folk, you know, Native Americans, the red man, not the ones that look like us. You gave them, or even the $5 Indians, you gave them all money and land and wealth. Gave them that, but gave us nothing. Gave like white immigrants coming over here years ago land grants and government funding to help farm land. Martin Luther King, the late great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told y'all that. Like I say, go look up his videos. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But you gave us basically fairly nothing, little to nothing to work with. A lot of us have made waves, but a lot of us haven't. So it's like, man, look, we're just asking for an equal footing. The problem is we can't get an equal footing just sitting here making promises or doing a little bit of bullcorn, like giving out trinkets, you know, or what they say, you know, giving out handouts so that they don't amount to anything monetarily or generational basis. So y'all just need to, like I say, throw out that paper. Go and write that check. Like that's what Brother Martin Luther King said. He said, now when we go to Congress, we coming to get that check. And that's what he meant. And once he started talking like that, man, and they ready to go ahead and get him up out of there, which is what they eventually did. So that's what all of us are saying right now. We ain't saying nothing different than what the same Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that y'all like to put in our face with that whole "I just have a dream" speech, when he pretty much denounced that speech and said, hey, he said, I tried this way, y'all ain't trying to change. He said, oh, now I see what we need to be doing. We need to be controlling that money, you know, demanding our checks, and then y'all don't want to treat us right. Shit, we're just gonna stop spending money with y'all. It's simple as that. So we saying nothing different than the late great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So let's be about that. Be about that for real. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Like I say, the Congressional Black Caucus, man, whatever, man. Y'all a joke. Ain't nobody trying to listen to y'all. Brothers ain't voting Democrat because y'all ain't giving me nothing. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? I don't go to work every day and not get a paycheck. Forget that. If you want my vote, single subject, a single item voting. I forgot what you call it, but anyway, it's one thing and one thing only. The Democrats, if you want my vote, you know what I'm saying, tell your president, that president who, you know, that y'all don't believe is racist, but he is, tell that man to sign that executive order and write them checks. Then I'll vote for you. If not, you ain't getting my vote. As simple as that. Now y'all might think, is he gonna vote Republican? I ain't say I was. We talking about the Democrats. The Republicans ain't begging for our vote. It's y'all. It's the CDC, what's called the Black Caucus, which is supposed to be a neutral. Congressional Black Caucus supposed to be a neutral group, but for some reason y'all side with these Democrats. Funny, ain't it? But anyway, yeah, I ain't saying I'm voting for Democrat. I'm just saying if anybody come with a check, shoot, you got my vote. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about this story, man. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.